Question DS. In the xy coordinate plane, if line M does not pass through the origin, is the slope of line M less than 0? Condition 1. Line M passes through the coordinates a, b and c, d, where a is greater than c and b is less than d. Condition 2. The value of the y-intercept of line M is twice the value of the x-intercept of line M. Solution. Let's solve this DS question using the variable approach. When a line passes through x1, y1 and x2, y2, we use this formula to calculate its slope. Slope equal to change in y over change in x. That equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Since there are 4 variables, x1, y1, x2, and y2, E is most likely to be the answer. Let's apply the 3 steps suggested previously. Follow the first step of the variable approach by modifying and rechecking the original condition and the question. We have to find whether the slope of line M is less than 0. Follow the second and the third steps. From the original condition, we have 4 variables, x1, x2, y1, and y2. To match the number of variables with the number of equations, we need 4 equations. Since conditions 1 and 2 will provide just 1 equation each, it's about 80% likely E is the answer. Recall 3 principles. Choose E as the most likely answer. Let's take a look at conditions 1 and 2 together. While condition 1 has 4 equations, so let's look at condition 1. It tells us that line M passes through a, b and c, d, so its slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, that equal to d minus b over c minus a. This condition also tells us that a is greater than c and b is less than d. Rearranging these inequalities gives c minus a is less than 0 and d minus b is greater than 0. This tells us that slope equal to change in y over change in x, that equal to d minus b over c minus a, that equal to positive over negative, which equals to negative is less than 0. So we get yes as the answer. Thus, the answer is unique yes, so the condition is sufficient by CMT1, which states that the answer must be in terms of a unique yes or no. Condition 2 tells us that the value of the y-intercept of line M is twice the value of the x-intercept of line M. This means the sign of the value of the y-intercept and x-intercept are the same. They are either both positive or negative. And since the line passes through 0, 2 times a and a, 0, as seen in the graph, line passing through a, 2 times a and line passing through negative a, negative 2 times a are parallel to each other. The slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 equal to 0 minus 2 times a whole over a minus 0. That equal to negative 2 times a over a, which equals to negative 2 over 1. That equal to negative 2 is less than 0, which is negative, so we get yes as the answer. Thus, the answer is unique yes, and the condition is sufficient by CMT1, which states that the answer must be in terms of a unique yes or no. Also, according to tip 1, it is about 95% likely that D would be the answer when the value of condition 1 is equal to the value of condition 2. Tip 1 is extremely powerful. Don't forget the answer is D if 1 equals to 2. Each condition alone is sufficient. Thus, D is the correct answer. Answer D.